everybody, it's me, Beth Maitland at Drama Queen Bee Quilts, and today I've got beautiful batiks out. I've taken 3 and I've sewn some strip sets together, and I'm making small projects. Today we've got a beautiful horizontal pieced table mat and a loopy border to work on. Great for sashing, great for borders, or great in this case for a little strip pieced table mat. And all it is loops. It's super easy for your home machine or a long arm system, and we're going to get started. As you can see, I have 3 horizontal sections of my table mats all pieced together, and I've got it mounted on my frame. I'm bringing the bobbin thread up from the back, and I'm going to sew a few tacking stitches so that my threads don't knot and nest, and I'm just going to get started. An arc and a loop, an arc and a loop, and I'm just eyeballing it, going down the very center of this yellow, green, blue strip section. Now, if you're more comfortable with marking, that's no problem. All you do is get a ruler and measure the width of your strip, figure out what the middle is, and I like to use a water erase marker and either use dashes down the long center line of your strip, or you can use little dashes or a solid hard line, and you can mark it and use that to follow. But what I'm doing is I'm sort of centering the arc and the loop, down the center of my strip. In just a moment, you're going to see we're going to take 4 total passes at this strip, and all it is loops and arcs. That's all we're going to make. And it's super easy, and the design is super beautiful. So here we are at the end of one row. We're just going to move our thread over and do a loop and an arc and nest them. Now this is upside down from the pass that we just took, and we're putting the loop in the center of our previous arc, and we're nesting these 2 passes of stitching into each other like C's, and each arc fits with a loop inside the dome of the previous arc. And it doesn't have to be exact. In batik fabric, there's so much natural, earthy, folksy kind of look to the fabric in the first place. I like my stitching not to be so exacting. I like it to be more folksy, more earthy, and more organic. I like it to flow and not be measured and perfectly accurate. So this is close enough for me. Now we've got to the end of our second pass. We have our 2 nested arcs and loops, and we're going to go the other direction again, and this time we're turning it upside down once more. We're going to echo the first arc, and then we're going to make a teardrop going in the opposite direction of our design. So we'll echo arch and a teardrop, echo arch and a teardrop. But once again, all it really is just a C-shaped arch and then just a little teardrop shaped loop. So again, it's super easy. All we're doing is combining arcs and loops to make a really beautiful but super simple design. And by doing it in multiple passes and building it on itself to sort of add to the complexity of the idea, picture beautiful trim ribbon or gorgeous woven trim for upholstery or costumes or draperies. I use a lot of architectural elements for inspiration. While we're sewing, I want to give a shout out to Lori at the Inbox Jaunt, inboxjaunt.com. If you guys haven't checked her out, you should, for other beautiful tutorials. This is based on an idea that she shared on her blog. So check out Lori at theinboxjaunt.com. And we will continue here, getting over to the end with our beautiful little loop and arc addition, and we'll start our last pass in just a moment here. The loops don't have to be exactly the same size. And now we're going to come down the final pass. The other edge of our design is just another echoed arch and a teardrop shaped loop. Echoed arch, teardrop shaped loop. And you can see how super easy this is and how pretty it is, just like that braided trim we were just talking about. When you build this simple design, one on top of the other, you can see how beautiful this combination is and makes the perfect element for a sashing, for, in our case, our table mats, but it could be negative space, it could be a more formal quilt, it could be any kind of loopy or feminine style, but also go more traditional. And when you do this on a more traditional quilt, you can measure it and have it be very exacting. You can even use a template to make every arc exactly the same size. But as you can see, for our purposes today, super fast, super easy, arcs, loops, and a beautiful sashing, easy tutorial. And here we are coming right to the edge. I think we're almost to the end here of our strip. And we will tie off here. And let's have a look. Nice. I just love it. Organic and not too formal, just right for my table mats. Exactly what I was hoping for. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial with Drama Queen Bee Quilts. I'm Beth Maitland. Meet me here again soon. Thanks so much.